Hi guys, today I'm going to show you what it's like to be a tourist in Seattle while the city is under quarantine and lockdown from COVID-19. First off, we're going to head out to Chinatown so I can have a bite for lunch. We're about to pull up to Uwajimaya, a Japanese grocery store that is really well known here. It sells a lot of groceries, giftware, and everything from Japan. We're going to park here and then walk to Momosan for lunch. We're here at Momosan. It is a ramen shop opened by Chef Morimoto. He is famous from Iron Chef. He has multiple locations in New York, Hawaii, and now in Seattle. Here's the tonkatsu ramen that I decided to go with. Classic traditional Japanese ramen style. Very thick milky broth, chashu pork, tamago, egg, bamboo, and some other veggies. The noodles have bamboo, chashu pork, tamago egg. This is the classic noodle. It's what they're known for. I just add a little bit more chili flakes in there. So the noodles were good, the ramen overall, the broth was okay, but it wasn't the best ramen I've ever had. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 stars. But regardless, it was good enough for me to finish it. Walking back to Uwajimaya now, where I'm going to pick up a few things for dinner later and show you guys what is all in here. We're leaving. So we're leaving Chinatown and International District right now, heading down to Pike Place Market in downtown Seattle. We're driving through Pioneer Square, which is one of the oldest sections of Seattle. It is where the city originally was at. On the right, coming up here, is basically the center of Pioneer Square. We're here at Pike Place Market now. It doesn't look as busy as it usually was during pre-COVID times, but let's see what's going on inside. We're going through Post Alley, a very famous section of Pike Place Market. As you can see, there's quite a few tourists and visitors still going through the market, but definitely not as dense as it usually is. All these people are lining up to see how cheese is being made at Beecher's Cheese Company. As you can see, this is Proshki, one of the go-to spots for any tourist visiting Seattle. They are a Russian bakery, specialize in a lot of Russian pastries. There's a huge line outside. And here we have the first Starbucks store, the original Starbucks store. It's usually packed with visitors and people lining up, but as you can see, they have been closed down due to COVID, temporarily closed down. So there's no one here, but you can see a little bit of inside. This is what Starbucks used to look like. So now we're in the inner parts of the market, the main corridor where people sell all sorts of arts, crafts, foods, and products. Pike Place did close down towards the beginning of COVID, but they've opened up since then, which is great because this is a very historical market. It's the last of its kind in America. Pretty much it was the first outdoors market in America. It's been running ever since it opened, I think over 100 years ago. So it'd be something really unfortunate to lose. As you can see, a lot of the flower vendors are back, although it's not fully fleshed out like it used to be. There used to be a lot more flower vendors in the market. It's what Pike Place Market is really known for. Tourists love to buy a bouquet of flowers for their hotel room or on the way home. They take it on their flights to bring home to their homes. Of course, every time I go to Pike Place Market, I like to buy a bouquet for my own home. They're very affordable and you get a lot more for what you're paying compared to grocery stores or florists or even Costco. One of these videos, I will go to the farms where these are grown. A lot of these vendors have their own farms right outside of Seattle. Now we're going to the food and edible sections of the market where you'll see there's a lot of people selling seafood, fresh produce, dried goods, and everything in between. Pretty much you can get almost anything in Pike Place Market. A lot of these are local farmers. They do source some of the stuff from other people, but for the most part, they try to have it from their own farms. A lot of famous restaurants are here. Restaurants are filmed in movies like Sleepless in Seattle, for instance. Angelina Jolie has filmed a movie here also. So quite a few movies in Hollywood have been filmed in this specific market, in this section. As you can see, all the seafood vendors, which is probably one of the most famous aspects of this market, are back and selling again, which is great. Although I noticed that the vendor that usually has a salmon throw, which is what tourists really love to see, they are not back fully yet. They are selling, but they don't have the salmon throw and their booths are not fleshed out as much. For those who've not yet been to Pike Place Market or purchased anything from here, you can have all the seafood shipped and packed and overnighted to your home. So by the time you get off your flight, it's at your front door in dry ice. As you can see, we're now walking up to the back of the market, the newest section of the market. It is overlooking LA Bay, has a panoramic view of the bay and the Puget Sound and islands surrounding downtown Seattle. They have dismantled a highway here, and they're now building a walking pedestrian park that is going to have a lot of greens and grass and trees so that there's a place to hang out. Now we're going to head down to do a little bit of shopping and showing you the retailers that are back in business and what it's looking like for the retail business in the downtown area. So you see Nordstrom is right up ahead. We have Nordstrom Rack, Saks off 5th. I also have a video that will tell you about some of the good deals I've found at those places. Entering Nordstrom, pretty much the only store that's been consistently open is Nordstrom Rack, Saks off 5th, Zara. Everything else has been pretty much, still closed down, like Gap, Old Navy. Nordstrom has, over the years, become very, very popular with shoppers due to their good customer service and their amazing deals and high-quality items. As you can see, the Nordstrom downtown store in Seattle is a flagship for the company and has a lot of high-end inventory that is special to this store only. So for those of you guys who don't know, Nordstrom did originate in Seattle. Their headquarters is here. Actually, their headquarters is right above this store. And this is the first store in the whole country that Nordstrom opened. And so that's why it gets a little bit more of a special treatment with inventory and the way it looks. Although in recent years, there's been many, many more beautiful stores open, mainly the ones in New York where they have a men's store and a women's store separated from each other. So it's huge and it's very, very nice. And I believe they are building more in some of the major cities that are more modern even. But this is still one of the best stores for inventory in the whole company. As you can see, retail hasn't fully bounced back yet. There's still people shopping, but there's still a lot of empty spaces in the stores, which tells me that like people aren't really out shopping as much. There's obviously much more to see, many more floors and shops to look at in Seattle, but in light of time, we're going to move on, and I will follow up with another video on shopping in Seattle and what it's like. So you can't go to Seattle and not visit the Space Needle and Seattle Center. It is the signature and the symbol of Seattle itself. So I'm going to take you guys here and see what it's like here during COVID. So this is the Pacific Science Center in Seattle Center. It is a sort of museum, interactive museum for kids and adults. And it is also where there is an IMAX theater. Before COVID, when theaters were still open, it was a very busy theater, and all the biggest visually impressive movies usually released here. For instance, I saw Avatar at this specific theater. We're walking up to the EMP right now. It is now open for visitors. It's been a while since I've been in there, but it's pretty cool in there. It's a museum of music, essentially. It has a lot of antique and collectible items from famous musicians that originally from Seattle. The sun's come out now, so you see a different side of Seattle Center and the Space Needle.
Sorry guys, my microphone doesn't work very well. I forgot my actual microphone at home, so I'm gonna have to dub the whole video. As you can see, it just rained and now it's sunny again. We're about to go to Kerry Park. We just left Seattle Center. So I'm gonna show you guys the best view, one of the best views of Seattle. This, you can see the whole city and the bay and everywhere around Seattle too. We're going up the Wayman Hill. This is probably one of the biggest hills of Seattle. We're going to Kerry Park, one of the best viewpoints in the city. Alright guys, this is Kerry Park. It's a very tiny park, but it has amazing views. A lot of people come out here for selfies. It's very beautiful at night when all the lights come up in the city.
Since we're here, I figured I'd show you guys a little bit of this neighborhood. It's one of the oldest in Seattle. Really pretty traditional style homes. Manicured yards as always. Alright, we're going to end the day going to Alki. It has one of the best views of the city from across the bay. In the summers, everyone comes out here, has their bonfires, barbecue picnics, whatever. Volleyball. It's pretty dead right now, as you can see. So this is the main section of Alki Beach. Alki used to be the area where the early settlers of Washington State in general were at. They pretty much settled down here and then decided that where downtown Seattle now is located was a better spot to be, so they moved over there completely. Part of the history of Alki Beach, though, is that it was supposed to be the other entrance to America. Hence, we see the Statue of Liberty here also. It was the intention to be the gate to the west coast of America originally. Not sure why they decided to scrap that idea, but the statue is still here. As you can see from my day around Seattle, the tourist experience is still here. It's less lively, there's a lot less people out and about, but most things are open back up again for tourists to experience what the city offers. But I would definitely recommend coming when it's a little bit livelier, probably after COVID. It's going to give you more of the experience that the true Seattle is like. Right now, it's probably what Seattle was like 20 years ago when no one lived here. Thanks for watching my video today, guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to see more content like this and see what else I come up with next. See ya!